Welcome aboard to the second episode of Truck Drivers Podcast, an informative and educational podcast dedicated to the CDL hardworking men and women who drive big rig trucks all over the United States of America for a living. We built this space for the men and women who keep America moving. We know the weight of the miles, the glow of sunrise over an empty highway, and the ache of missing home while chasing a deadline. We believe truck driving is more than a job. It's a craft, a calling, and a community. Our mission is to honor that by sharing honest, hard-earned knowledge, celebrating wins big and small, and giving voice to the realities of the road, its freedom, its pressure, and its pride. Here, we bring together new, experienced, and prospective drivers to learn, grow, and look out for one another. From licensing and training to equipment, safety, health, regulations, career paths, and life on the road, we cover every gear shift of this profession. We keep it practical, respectful, and real because your time matters and your work matters. Whether you're planning your first route or your next chapter, we're in your corner mile after mile. Whether you are a seasoned big rig truck driver, new to the profession, or plan on joining the profession, we hope that you will appreciate, listen, and share by word of mouth the Truck Drivers Podcast. Thank you. In Episode 1, we begin with our coverage of Behind the Wheel, the Professional CDL Driver's Complete Textbook, a comprehensive guide for big rig drivers in the United States of America. In today's episode, we cover Unit 2, Hours of Service and Electronic Logging. Featuring Section 1, Key Vocabulary. Section 2, Trucker Phrases. Section 3, Professional Dialogues. Section 4, Important Rules for Truckers. Section 5, Important Laws for Truckers. And Section 6, Driver's Corner Article. Why pre-trip inspection is your first line of defense. Okay, ready to begin? Here we go.
Welcome to this week's coverage of Behind the Wheel, the Professional CDL Driver's Complete Textbook, a comprehensive guide for big rig drivers in the United States of America. In today's episode we cover Unit 2, Hours of Service and Electronic Logging. Unit 2. Stopwatch Hours of Service and Electronic Logging. Section 1, Key Vocabulary. Hours of Service, HOS. Federal regulations limiting how long a driver may drive and work before mandatory rest periods. Electronic Logging Device, ELD. A device that electronically records a driver's driving time and duty status automatically. 14-hour rule. A driver may not drive after the 14th consecutive hour following 10 hours off duty. 11-hour driving limit. The maximum drive time for a property-carrying driver within the 14-hour window. 30-minute break. A mandatory rest required after 8 cumulative driving hours without a qualifying interruption. Sleeper berth. A bunk compartment in the tractor cab used to qualify for legally required off-duty rest. 70-hour rule. A driver may not drive after accumulating 70 on-duty hours in 8 consecutive days. 34-hour restart. A 34 consecutive hour off-duty period that resets the driver's 60 to 70-hour weekly clock. Split sleeper berth. A provision allowing drivers to split the 10-hour off-duty period into 7+3 or 8+2 combinations. Personal conveyance. Off-duty movement of a CMV for personal purposes, subject to specific FMCSA guidance. Section 2. Trucker phrases. Running out of hours. Approaching or reaching the legal driving time limit for the day or week. Example. I'm running out of hours. I need to find a safe parking spot in the next 30 miles or I'm calling it here. Stuck on the clock. Unable to deliver on time because HOS limits have been reached due to delays. Example. The shipper held me 4 hours. Now I'm stuck on the clock and can't make the appointment window. 34-hour restart. Using a full 34-hour off-duty period to reset the weekly on-duty accumulation. Example. I'll take a 34-hour restart here in Amarillo and start completely fresh Tuesday morning. Section 3. Professional dialogues. Dialogue 1. Driver calling dispatch about tight HOS. Driver, dispatch, I have a problem. I'm down to 2 hours on my 14 and still 90 miles from the receiver. Dispatcher. What happened? You left the shipper on time. Driver. Construction zone on I-70, sat for over an hour. It ate my entire buffer. Dispatcher. Can you make it to the Loves at mile marker 212? About 40 miles. Driver. That'll work. I'll park there and contact the receiver to reschedule for 0600. Dispatcher. Copy. I'll notify them. Do not push past your 14-hour window. No load is worth a federal violation. Driver. Understood. Safety always comes first. Dialogue 2. New driver asking a veteran about the ELD. New driver. I'm still getting used to the ELD. What happens if it malfunctions on the road? Veteran. If the ELD goes down, you switch to paper logs immediately. You should always have 8 days of blank logs in your cab. New driver. And I just fill those in manually? Veteran. Exactly, same format as the old paper logs. You also need to note the malfunction in writing and report it to your carrier within 24 hours. New driver. What if DOT pulls me over and the ELD is broken? Veteran. Show them your paper logs and your written malfunction notice. You have 8 days to get it repaired. Stay organized and cooperative and you'll be fine. New driver. Good to know. I was worried a broken ELD meant automatic trouble. Section 4. Important rules for truckers. Rule 1. Never drive after your 14-hour window has closed, regardless of how many actual drive hours remain. The 14-hour clock runs continuously from your first on-duty activity and cannot be paused. Rule 2. Record every duty status change accurately and promptly on your ELD. Inaccurate or late entries, intentional or not, constitute a federal violation and can trigger a compliance audit. Rule 3. Plan your route around your HOS limits before departure. Identify rest areas and truck stops at 8 to 9 hour intervals along your planned route so you are never scrambling for parking. Section 5. Important laws for truckers. Law 1. 49 CFR Part 395.3, the core federal hours of service rule for property-carrying drivers, 11-hour driving limit, 14-hour on-duty window, 30-minute break requirement, and 60-70-hour weekly limits. Law 2. 49 CFR Part 395.22 mandates ELD use for all drivers required to keep records of duty status, RODS, with specific technical and operational requirements for ELD certification and use. Law 3. 49 CFR Part 395.3 A. 3.2, the split sleeper berth provision, allowing drivers under specific conditions to split their 10-hour off-duty period into a July 3rd or August 2nd combination to manage delivery windows. Section 6, Driver's Corner Article. Managing your hours, the professional driver's daily chess game. Hours of service regulations exist for one fundamental reason: driver fatigue is among the most dangerous conditions on American highways. Studies consistently show that a driver awake for 18 hours operates with impairment comparable to a blood alcohol level above the legal limit. Federal HOS rules are not bureaucratic obstacles. They are built from decades of crash data and represent a minimum standard for road safety. Managing your hours well is a professional skill. Experienced drivers think of HOS like a chess player thinks of pieces on a board. Every stop, every traffic delay, and every loading dock wait consumes from a finite daily budget. The drivers who consistently deliver safely and on time plan their routes around their HOS windows, not around optimistic assumptions about ideal conditions. The ELD has changed the landscape fundamentally. Unlike paper logs, ELD records actual engine movement and cannot be retroactively adjusted. This has created more honest accounting of time on the road. If you ever feel pressure from a dispatcher or carrier to push past your legal limits, know that federal whistleblower protections exist. No appointment is worth your CDL, your health, or a catastrophic crash. Use your off-duty time strategically. The sleeper berth split provision offers valuable flexibility on long runs, allowing you to manage rest in stages while meeting delivery windows. Learn how it works within your carrier's operation and routes. Take your mandatory rest seriously. A 10-hour break is not wasted time, it is the fuel for your next drive. Eat well, hydrate, and actually sleep. Your body is the most important piece of equipment on that truck.
Thank you for listening, subscribing, and sharing this week's episode of Truck Drivers Podcast. Join us again next week for another informative episode. You're invited to access our official website, Truck Drivers in the United States of America, our music albums, as well as various other informative and entertaining resources we produce. Check out the links in the description section below. Safe driving, everyone.